Hey, Shalom, I want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem Yah, Shabbat, Shem Rakak, that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. This one is inspired by the fire that is happening right now at the Notre Dame de Paris, which means Our Lady of Paris, right? Notre Dame Cathedral, and you got people all over the world crying, mourning, whatever, what have you, and the dead, made me consider the scriptures, because people are saying this is what 12th century, this is like what 1100s, right? And in a couple of hours, it's what you call it, been burnt to smoke, right? However, if you take a look at America, scriptures say America's gonna be burnt, in 1 hour, right? So in 1 hour, America's gonna be completely destroyed, right? The whole landmass, what it's taken them hundreds and hundreds of years to build, the Lord's gonna take that out in 1 hour. And just by looking at the response that this has had, right, throughout the world, and this is one building, right, one building. The entirety of America is going to be destroyed, and people are, crying and mourning and shit, right? For instance, when I was Googling it, you had, DJ Trump talking his shit, right? And then you had Obeezy, right? Notre Dame is one of the world's great treasures, and we're thinking of the people of France in your time of grief, right? So they're saying France as a nation is grieving over one building. Right, it says it's our nature to mourn when we see history lost. Now, America's got great history, and all of it's going to be lost, right? But it's also in our nation, but it's also in our nature to rebuild for tomorrow as strong as we can, and that's the difference. Because America will not be rebuilt, right? After the destruction, it shall stand as a memorial for what happens when you do evil. Right, this is Revelation 18:8. It says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh who judgeth her." Right, now the number one plague that's going to hit America is that nuclear missile. Right, this is Zechariah 14:12, which says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." Right? And then the key thing there is while they stand upon their feet, right? Because that's showing you it's instant. This is something, that's happening quickly, right? All this, consume a good scene to watch, and a good way to visualize this is if you watch a Terminator, I believe the second one, Judgment Day, where you see Sarah Connor basically being burnt up. That's how it's going to be like in those days, right? When America is judged with that final plague of the nuclear missile, right? It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning." Right, and that's what you're seeing here. Right, was Barack Obama and DJ Trump not a king of the earth? Right, yeah, we know there are, powers behind them, right? But he this is one building, and he's lamenting, right? So then, yeah, you're gonna have a whole world lamenting when America is destroyed. Right, everyone more or less knows someone in America. Especially in the Western world, right? Oh yeah, that person I met, when I went to spring break, they're dead. That family member that I have in America, they're dead. All of them. Right? So standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour," and that's literal, in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So in 1 hour, the Lord's going to send 200 million missiles over there to the land of America, man. Going utterly destroy that land. Right, it says, "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore." Right, And America, they're a consumer nation, right? So when these plagues hit America, right, the world is, the world's gonna mourn, right? Thus saith the scriptures. Well, we ain't gonna mourn because we know what it is. That's what the scripture says. Well, I mean, in the those days, that's gonna be the deliverance, right? So Lord's will be in them chariots, right? Watching the destruction, upon the sea of glass mingled with fire, which is talking about the firmament, right? It says Isaiah 34:11. It says, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, right? The owl and also the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness, right? So this is talking about America, right? Because as a couple of precepts I'll get, right, we'll show you America will only be inhabited by a beast, wild, not beasts, desert creatures, right? It says, they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, and nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be an habitation of dragons, and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures be gathered, and everyone with her mate. Right, the next scripture I'll go and get is Isaiah 13:20, right? It says, it shall never be inhabited. So America's never going to be inhabited ever again, right? Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, right? Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there. But the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall live there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And their time is near to come, and their days shall not be prolonged. Right? So once again, more or less saying the same thing. Scriptures talk about precept upon precept, line upon line, right? So once again, this is going into the fact that once America is destroyed, man isn't going to live there anymore. America is going to be a memorial, right? In fact, let me read verse 19. I didn't read 19. It says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the child, his excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for wickedness. And when you read, I forgot where it is, but we read in the books called the New Testament, right? What does the Lord say? The Lord says, Sodom and Gomorrah was given as an example unto those that should after live ungodly, right? And America, the ungodly policies they push, the witchcraft they push upon the earth, right? The Lord requires all of these things, right? So if Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, America's gonna get destroyed, because America's gone far beyond what Sodom and Gomorrah did, right? This is Jeremiah 50, and I'm gonna start from verse 12. Oh yeah. It says, your mother shall be sore confounded. Now that's referring to England, because America was conceived, quote unquote, from England, right? It says, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, right? So America's gonna be a desert, man. No one's gonna live there, and justly so, because wickedness has been done in that land, right? And the Lord requires it, right? Now get this as well. 2 Ezra 15:18 says, for because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, right? Their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? So now the cities are gonna be troubled because of the pride of these cities, and you once again you think about London, for instance. London's going to get hit, right? And like I said, we're talking about Notre Dame this, Notre Dame that, but St. Paul's, that's a monument. Big Ben, the House of Parliament, these are all old buildings, right? But when the Lord comes back, The Lord's gonna destroy this place. Right, so you're gonna have all of these landmarks that these people look and aspire to. They're all gonna be destroyed, right? And that's why it says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. Well, it ain't gonna be nothing enjoyable about that day if you ain't of the elect, right? So, like I said, Lord's will, that was edifying. I believe that's all I got. Lord's will, that was edifying. Until the next time, Shalom.